I built this because another sync tool that I used almost cost me a full wedding's worth of footage. If you're a videographer or a video editor and you work like me, this could really help. So I have a working drive that I drag all of my footage to, label it, put it all in the right folders, have it there. Once that's all ingested after an event or a wedding, I predominantly do weddings, I then copy that to the archive. And now I have 2 copies. That archive also backs up to the cloud. As you would imagine, I then only work in that working folder. I will add music into there. I will possibly do some pre-renders. I will generate thumbnails out into there, into another folder. And I'll do a whole load of stuff in here, which is no longer in the archive. Now, after delivery, you then kind of want to back up everything that's new in there, plus your renders, but you don't necessarily want a whole load that's in there, maybe proxy files and all that kind of stuff. And it can be a bit of a pain to back it up and make sure you don't miss anything, and also that you're not doubling up on anything. Now, I used a free syncing tool that was great. I set it up, I ran it, I had to save a script. I used that, I ran it a couple of times, and it worked fine for me. And then about 2 years ago, it's taken me this long to kind of get myself around to making this. About 2 years ago, I was in the middle of wedding season. I was about 3 or 4 weddings on the docket. I just filmed another wedding, and it was at a venue that I'd been about 3 or 4 weddings previously. And the reason why I knew what actually happened is the fact that I wasn't able to get the establishing drone shot as good as the wedding 3 or 4 weddings previous. So when I got home and I was backing up that footage from the wedding that I'd just done, I thought I'll go and have a check and see if it is as good or if it was as acceptable as I thought it was. And I went into the working folder and I couldn't find it. And it was that point I thought, oh, thankfully I have my backup. I went to the archive and that wasn't there either. And that, you know, that deep, hot feeling that you get. The thing is, that archive is backing up to the cloud to Backblaze, but anything deleted from there is then deleted from Backblaze, or is highly likely that it's no longer up there as well. And I went into the bin, and in there was the whole wedding. It had been in there for 4 days. And had I emptied that bin at any point during there, it's highly likely it would have been gone for good. So that was it. I'm not doing that anymore. But I've developed a few apps, a few plugins over the last 6, maybe 10 months. And I thought, you know what, let's look into seeing if I can do something. So this is completely agnostic of any NLE. It doesn't require you to be a DaVinci Resolve or a Premiere Pro or a Final Cut Pro editor. This is also for both Mac and Windows. And what it is, it's called LyroSync. So let me show you exactly what it does. Let me pull you up what I would typically do at the end once I've delivered. So here are the 2 folders. I've got Megan and Sam here and Megan and Sam here. Just going to double click into those. And I've also right-clicked on the roots that I've just double-clicked into and gone get info. So here is my working folder and here is the archive. So it's considerably a lot more. And by the way, absolutely no shade on the cameras that I use and all that kind of stuff. I do not have gear acquisition syndrome. Plus, we emigrated a few years ago, so I can't really afford loads and loads of footage, and it ain't the camera, it's cool, I'm not having that argument. So if we look in here, this is my working folder, this is my archive, and all of a sudden you can already see there's the renders. That doesn't exist in there. If I twirl down into source, you've got all that in video, you've got all the cameras. I know, how amazing are my cameras. But I also have pre-renders, which aren't there. I also have music, which if I double click into music, I've got all that there. If I double click in there, nothing. So there's a whole load. Plus my wife and I, we edit together. So we use the cloud in DaVinci Resolve. If you're a DaVinci Resolve user and there's more than one editor and you haven't set up the cloud, I'll leave a link in the description to Mr. Alex Tech. The minute I watched Alex's video on using the cloud, completely changed our workflow. But in short, I have proxies for everything. So if I go into my videos or my cameras, and then if I go into A7 III, I still love my A7 III, by the way. I have a proxy folder. If I go into A7 IV, proxy folder, A6 300, no shade. And I use the Osmo Pocket 3 actually for a great wide safety cam for both the speeches and the ceremony. Yeah. So I've got all those proxies. So I'd have to come into here and I'd have to search for proxies. I'd have to get rid of all of those and drag over each individual thing that I need to try and marry these two numbers up, the 21163 minus the proxies and up to here. So I have built LyroSync. I'm not going to mention the app that failed on me because I am absolutely in no doubt that it was user error. However, I ain't that clever and I cannot run my business on hopefully holding on to footage when I'm not that clever. So what I've done is I've created this, which everything is in the background. In the previous thing that I had set up, you had to set up all this kind of thing. These are all the rules. Sync it and then save a script and then you run that script. And that's where I kind of really fell foul. So what this is doing is this has all the rules which you will actually confirm at certain times and then it will run. Let me show it. So we're on, who are we on? Megan and Sam. Sorry, Megan and Sam. So the working folder, when you open it up, this is how it is. If there's any updates, by the way, it'll be, or I have anything new from Lyro, there'll be a little red dot there. This is free. How I said that. So you hit choose and we'll navigate to the working. So we go down to dock and we go to there, and there's Megan and Sam. Stay on the out, open. So now I want to go to the archive, which is this one. So I'll click choose again and I will go down to archive. I'll go to there, and then Megan and Sam. Stay on the outside, hit open. So now, as you can see, I've got my working folder, which is in my dock, and I've got the archive folder, which is in the archive. Both Megan and Sam, and then I hit scan. And what it's going to do is it's going to compare the two folders and what's in them in seconds. I'm just going to size this out a little bit. And first and foremost, you can see that it's compared the proxies. And if you're thinking, oh, that's not good, these are confident matches. So, I mean, these are pretty much nailed on. It's reading timestamps as well. So it's making sure the date modified, date created are pretty much the same as well, or at least almost, yeah, good. So what we're going to do is we're confirming that these are all the proxies. I know that all the proxies that we have are on the cameras. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, that looks about right. If you want to check anything, you can easily just come into open folder. Took ages to be able to do that. And you can check your folders, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, those are the proxies for that wedding. Cool, cracking. Good. So then we make a decision. And you can't go any further until you've made the decision. So anything left unticked stays in your working folder. So you can choose, do we delete it? By the way, these aren't triggers, these are selectors. So you can either delete it, so it says proxies will be moved to the trash, they will keep up taking space until you empty it. So it will go into your trash on a Mac, it will go to your recycle bin on Windows. You can click to ignore, so just leave them, don't worry about it, don't want them, but don't delete them. Or transfer to archive. Maybe you think you're going to need these proxies going further, move them over as well. So it's aware of proxies, which for me was a big deal. I will delete my proxies, don't need them. Coming down, new in the working folder is 416 files. Now that will include the proxies. Archive only, nothing is different. Now sometimes I'm an idiot and I will look to generate a bit of audio from the thing. Resolve is great to speech generator if you need to correct like a bit in a speech or a bit in a vowel, and sometimes I'll select the wrong folder. I'll still go for the right couple, but I'll actually be in the archive. So this will check for anything like that, anything that has been put in the archive that isn't in the working folder, and it will give you a heads up with regards to that. So we have all this decided. We want to delete our proxies. We still aren't running it. We're just going to build the plan. Okay, so click build plan, done. So now it said there's 16 files to copy. So that's my music, probably. Yeah, be my music and my renders, maybe a pre-render or two, and nothing else. 400 proxies are to be deleted. And so with that, if there's anything wrong, it will flag, it will come up and it'll tell you what it needs to change. But it's fine. So I just hit run And let me just move this down. Remember, we want to get from 211.63, and that's 192.6. However, that also includes proxies. So if we run it, we're then saying, yeah, we're going to confirm it. If there's anything, any discrepancies at all during this run, it will create a backup folder called LyroSync previous in the actual archive. I know. I like to think I've thought of everything here. So we hit confirm and run, and then we just let it do its thing. It's doing stuff here, we can see, and it's just, yeah. So obviously it depends, some of these things depend on how fast the drive is. This is just a spinning 24 terabyte Seagate, and it's coming from a T7 or a T9. So the bottleneck is the actual transfer into the HDD, but the big one is the speeches. I live here in Zante, so ceremonies aren't really long. They're about 10-15 minutes max, I know. So the big edit really is the 4K speech. Although there's the wedding highlight now. I'm not going to speed this up. I just want to kind of wait here, see how long it takes. And we're kind of mindful of these two numbers as well. Oh, it's done. So we're now, there's 201, there's 257. So why are they not the same? Oh, there you go. It was just the system taking time. So we now know that both of those files are exactly the same. No dragging and dropping, no kind of, oh, is that the right thing? No, oh God, can I delete? It's done. And if I go into my trash to have a look, yeah, all the proxies, and I can confirm because it's 6.8 megabytes on that one clip, and yeah, that was a lot bigger than 6.8 megabytes. And yeah, there's music that I deleted earlier. Yeah, so that's safe to empty that trash as well. And they match up perfectly. It's free to download. It's always going to be free. I have decided for this to be free because I think the main people who will benefit from this are people like me. It's small independents that we can't necessarily afford the full-on system to back up. We'll go with the free stuff. And as I said, the other free thing that I got nearly ruined my reputation. So yeah, LyroSync, link in the description if you'd like it. I also have one other plugin that is out at the moment called Lyro Type. I'm rebranding that, and there's loads coming from that. Have a look in another video. I'll link it in the description below and at the end as well. But yeah, get it down, run it, play with it, and back yourself up. Because yeah, I'd hate for anyone to even go close to what I experienced, if not over the other step and emptying the trash. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.